Hi there everybody, it's Sarah here, the Able Diabetic, here to talk to you about how every day is different. And what I mean by that is that when you're a type 1 diabetic, whatever you're doing in the day, your blood sugar profile is going to be up and down, and often it won't really seem to bear any resemblance to what you're actually doing. That's the story of my life. So I'm going to show you a graph in a moment describing this particular day, which was very typical. I spent a lot of the day sat at my desk doing, kind of computer work, what I do in my kind of mainstream life. I had the company of the cat. It was a very quiet day, a day when it was cups of tea that kind of kept me going. And so I'll show you what my blood sugars did in those circumstances. Let me tell you a little bit about this particular day. In many respects, not a particularly exciting story. I woke up in the morning and it was kind of a slightly dodgy start to the day, as you can see, because I'd been in the zone of having a hypo for a while actually on waking, and I hadn't woken up through that hypo. So the first thing to do on waking is to get that sorted, take my background insulin, which I do every morning, and actually I wouldn't have taken any other insulin, and I would have had a very small amount of sweets, about 5 kind of jelly sweets, which are what I keep on my bed, so that's what I would have had first thing in the morning. And that got me up to a nice level. And actually, overall, it's worth saying that this is a day that I'm not unhappy with this profile. Most of it is in the right kind of zone. It's only in the evening when I kind of lose it a bit and go outside. So I'm not unhappy with this. Around lunchtime, and between breakfast and lunchtime, all I did was sit at my desk and type and write and think. Lunch is it is good, right? It's I had a really light lunch that day. It was very veg-based, like some carrot sticks and some cucumber sticks, and a bit of pita bread and some hummus. So not big at all, and just enough to keep me going. And good from a blood sugar perspective, because I only went up very slightly for the kind of lunchtime peak, which is a very normal peak to have, but good to keep under in kind of moderation. And then, through the course of the afternoon, my bloods are trailing down a bit, which is pretty typical as well, post-meal, and just sitting around and doing work. In the evening, I've got quite a big peak, and this is related to my evening meal. I tend to have a fairly heavy meal in the evening. It's the meal that we sit down as a family to enjoy, and we do tend to have, a reasonably substantial meal. And that does push things up, so quite a significant peak. And then, kind of down the other side as well. The down the other side is assisted by the fact that I took corrective insulin at the top of that peak, because it was clear that I'd gone a little bit too high. So, a day, when there wasn't a lot happening, I wasn't doing any exercise, I didn't go anywhere, it was just kind of sat around. And, still, to the untrained eye, this would look pretty bumpy. To somebody who looks at diabetic data and charts a lot, actually, yeah, this is not a bad day at all. So, a good day for me, a pretty sound day. I guess the blot on the landscape was that there wasn't any exercise in this, and that always makes things a little bit more difficult to handle. And most days I actually do about an hour's worth of walking. So pretty unusual that factor wasn't in the mix. But otherwise, it gives a sense of kind of how things go up and down in a diabetic life. I'm Sarah. I'm the Able Diabetic. My objective is to help both type 1 diabetics and others understand the condition better, and be able to kind of understand what's going on in a diabetic's life and their experience. I hope this has been interesting. Please look at my other videos on YouTube and my website. Thanks very much for watching. See you again.